So today is the 17th of March, just a few days before the 21st of March, which is the equinox. And usually around this time of the year, we are almost into spring. So let me walk you around the nursery. I know most of you love my little walks, and I will show you everything that goes on. And there in the background is one of our members of staff mowing the grass. I haven't mowed the lawn or the grass since October of last year, so this is the first day in the year that we've actually started mowing the grass, and it's a lovely sound and a lovely smell. Those of you who are used to the English turf will know what English turf looks like, and it is absolutely divine. If you can imagine what a golf course is like, Herons can be like a golf course. So there is Steve on his ride on mower, mowing the grass and making our Japanese garden look trim and nice and tidy. And the sun is shining brightly. And what a lovely day. At this time of the year, things turn very fast. Because it is getting milder and warmer, the camellias are starting to bloom or have been in bloom. Some usually bloom in December, the very early sasanqua ones, but this one is a double one. All these heavy buds are waiting to bloom. There's one already in flower. Look at it, absolutely beautiful. So not everything is bonsai here. We do have flowering plants. The winter flowering cherries have almost all finished. I will take you into our greenhouse where we have some of our Fuji cherries in bloom. So let me just take you for a little walk, because I know you all love these little walks. So let us start on the outside gardens first, and we will show you the outside bonsai. The benches are still a bit empty because I haven't started displaying the trees yet, as we could still get frost, and that might hurt the maples. So for those of you who love plants, this is rosemary. This is a creeping or weeping variety, not the normal rosemary, very tight foliage. So this is in bloom. And of course we have a huge magnolia which has been on this nursery since the year dot, and they always get caught by the frost every year, and it gets brown when the frost hits it. But this is only the second day they started blooming. I noticed it was in tight bud yesterday, but they've already started blooming. Let me take a close-up of it. That's the beautiful magnolia, Magnolia solangiana. This is the spring flowering one. So let's enjoy it while it is still in its spectacular, unblemished, frost-free form. The evergreens haven't started coming into leaf yet, but I noticed that some of our maples which have been outside all year round, these are never put away. This is my big trident maple, and look at it. Look at that one. It's almost completely in leaf. And that big twin trunk, that I call my chicken plucker tree. That's the one I defoliate by plucking it, like plucking the pheasant's flowers. I mean, pheasant's, what you call it, feathers. And that is virtually in leaf. If you let the foliage of maples emerge in the open without protection, they don't get spoilt by the frost. But if you let the foliage emerge under cover in greenhouses and then bring it out, the frost will catch it and damage it. These are some of our small forsythia plants which we turn into bonsai. We grow them from cuttings as well. And now I'm going to walk into the greenhouse to show you some beautiful Fuji cherry. We grow them and keep it small so that they don't get too big while I'm walking past. This is the stellata magnolia, and this variety is the pink variety. So let me just walk into this greenhouse. This is our so-called indoor greenhouse, where we have trees that are suitable for conservatory type climate. And look at all the foliage, all the new foliage. Chinese elms are best grown outdoors, but if you have a cool conservatory, they do extremely well. Chinese elms, podocarpus, and even the Buddha pine, they don't really do well as indoor plants. I know I will lose sales by saying this, but it's best to be warned. They are difficult plants to grow indoors. They are better grown as outdoor plants. And this is the spectacular Fuji cherry. They are normally big bushes, but we keep them trimmed back so they produce a lot of flowers, and we find that this is one of our very, very popular lines. So this is our greenhouse. A view of some of our pots. These are new Chinese pots from Yixing that we had delivered about a month ago. So we have a lot of new pots, lots and lots of new pots. I'm not sure if I've shown you this before, but let me show you them again. Not everyone likes Chinese style design, but there are people who love it. Those of you who are more used to Japanese style bonsai may find this a bit strange, but don't forget, bonsai was created or invented by the Chinese, so they still have a long tradition and legacy of making bonsai, and these are the pots that they make. Let me just go to the other display area, and in this area these trees have been out here all year round. They're never protected from frost, they're never put away. And look at them, they're all springing out into flower. So this is our stock of Fuji cherries. Aren't they beautiful? Absolutely stunning. This Zelkova was a beautiful image when it was frosted and covered in frost and snow in the winter. But now it's waiting to come into leaf. That maple, great big elephant's foot, that again was created from a stump on our nursery, and that is waiting to come into leaf. This is the tanuki larch. This larch is wrapped around a piece of driftwood, but the driftwood is not very long lasting, so the wood may probably rot, leaving me just the tree. That's a very small leaf, brevifolia cedar. And this is the famous the pine from the cover of Bonsai Masterclass. So this tree I started making in 1980, and it was photographed for the cover of Bonsai Masterclass in 1986, 6 years after making it. When I started the tree, this was only pencil thick. Now the tree is at least 3 to 4 inches thick at the base. So what originally was a cascade tree is now an informed upright tree, and this was a cascading bit, but because the cascade bit always dies off, because most of these trees are what we call apical dominant. So the top grows, but the cascade part doesn't survive. This is a Chinese juniper, that's a cascade. Cascade trees are hard to maintain for a long period as cascade. But while it is there, let's enjoy it. And these are our homemade Scots pines. That's a very, very major Chinese juniper. And here are more homemade larches, all homemade larches. They're not yet in leaf. I've shown this tree many a time. And look at the lichen on this tree. And the beautiful cones, the purple cones. What a beautiful sight. I haven't the heart to take off the lichen because the lichen adds so much character to the tree. And I can't get over these beautiful purple cones. Look at it. So I hope you're enjoying it. And now I'll switch the camera off. I'm going to another area which involves a long walk. It's almost 6:30 in the evening and it's dusk on the 18th of March. Another late evening video when everyone's gone home. I've just finished doing work and my staff have been very busy today. They've been putting out all the bonsai because it's a very nice spring day. We've had 16 degrees centigrade, very warm. And it's time we brought all the trees out. So although it is almost semi-dark, this iPhone is so powerful that it can take beautiful pictures in almost twilight conditions. Excuse the planes, they keep taking off. Those are the forsythia. And as I walk along the benches, the more Fuji cherry, all displayed and in bloom. You can hear the bird song. The evening chorus is not as spectacular as the morning dawn chorus. I will try and wake up early enough one morning to take a video to record the sound of the birds singing. And this is the corridor where we have our maples. They're all coming into leaf. I don't know whether you can see it or not. And tomorrow I'll take some more pictures because many of these are the red maples. The light is not good enough here, but I will walk into another tunnel and hopefully you can see some red maples which are in full leaf. Admittedly, they've been undercover here, but look at it. In the space of 3 days, all these maples have come out into leaf. It's a rather eerie sort of image because it is dark, as I told you, but it's another dimension. But I promise you tomorrow morning I will take some more images of the same view to show you the difference in the vibrant colors. But I'm literally taking it in dark conditions. So this phone is really not giving the right impression because the phone is so good it can take pictures in the dark. It's another Deshojo. I never realized I had so many Deshojos. So with that I will probably end this evening's little episode. And those are the oak trees. The leaves are not out yet, but I think it'll be another 3 weeks before they come into leaf. So with that, I will say good evening for this part of the video, and I will continue taking more images tomorrow to add to this video. Well, today is the 26th of March, and I keep saying I will end this little walk around the nursery, but every time I stop the video, I see something new and fresh to show you. So although this is not late in the evening, this is mid-morning at about 10 o'clock and the sun is shining brightly and it has a different feel altogether. What I want to show you really is on my back greenhouse because I've just watered it. I got up early in the morning to water and it takes, I think, altogether about 6 or 7 hours to water the entire nursery. And because most of my staff have taken the day off and left Muggins to do the work, I had to do the watering, but I enjoy it, so I'm not exactly complaining. So let me walk you to the back greenhouse because after watering, the atmosphere is so nice that you get this lovely aura of damp humidity and vibrant colors because when the leaves are wet, it has a different color altogether. Sorry if I'm walking too fast, but I can't wait to get in there. So let's have a look. You can see that the ground is all wet. I've just finished watering and I've got a class this morning, so everything is neat and tidy. So let's walk around and show you. In literally the space of 1 week, all the deciduous trees like the larches have come into leaf and the maples are all bursting forth in literally 5 days. trees which were without leaf have suddenly come into leaf. How wonderful is that? Everywhere I turn, they're in leaf. Okay, but sorry, the beech trees are not yet in leaf, and the hornbeams are not yet in leaf. They're coming into leaf slowly. And this is a great big monster of a mountain maple. Look at the trunk. The nebari must be 2 foot across. The trunk diameter is 12 inches in diameter. The tree is nearly 4 foot tall. And I've been training this for the last 35 years. The stump was originally from Japan. This is another maple in the making, garden tree, not garden tree, from the field. So the first cut here, second cut there, third cut there, and the leader is about 6 foot tall, but I'm going to cut it off probably at this point. And this is a Japanese yew that I imported in year 2000. And it's supposed to be about 200 years old, I was told. Look at it, completely hollow. And one of these days I'll work on it. Another imported Japanese yew, about 150-year-old. And that is my pride and joy, that great big trident maple. It's been recuperating in the greenhouse because it was exposed to excessive frost and sun last year, so it didn't produce enough foliage. These are my blores, junipers, waiting for me to work on. This is a benichidori. And you can see all the red deishojos. And lo and behold, I've got a Chinese quince in full flower. This is the one I'm growing big because I wanted to restyle the tree. I have the heart to cut it down. I may take an air layering. How beautiful is that? Look at the colors on that. You can't beat the deishojo for spring color. And that is a benichidori. Another beautiful deishojo. And that is Asahi Zuru with the triple colored leaves. So when you see all the wet surface on the ground, I hope you can get the feeling of the dampness and humidity that's in this greenhouse. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this is a camellia air layering, 8 foot tall, that we made last year. It rooted in 6 weeks. So 2 big camellias, which instead of just cutting off the branches, we air layered it. So there they are, doing extremely well. This is a box tree, new growth. New growth is absolutely stunning. That's a benichidori. And so it goes on. This is a Celtus sinensis. Different types of leaves, different texture and color. So after watering, I'm now going to have a cup of coffee, and I will have a class for 6 people today. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour. This is certainly the last. So let me just show you this beautiful larch. And I hope you've enjoyed this tour, spring tour.